Hello and welcome in, everybody. Prepare for the unpreparable. Beware for the unbewearable. This week, it's Chaos Light. My name is Hoodie Two Shoes, and I'm here with Aaron 2U2.
Yo.
And we've got 4 great racers here, and this is a pretty exciting debut match here for our Winter League Week 2 here in the Dragon Warrior Randomizer.
Yep, we got, just looking at our players, we have nobody with a win and nobody with a loss. So it's kind of nobody is in a desperation sense and nobody's feeling particularly good right now with where they are. So there's a lot just from the racers that's going to be a bit up in the air. And then, we have the flag set for this week too, which is fun.
There are a lot of interesting flags. There's 3 on Tri-State, so they have depending on the flag, a 50-50 chance of either activating for the seed or activating per item on the seed. So we've got treasure guards tri-stated, so every important item has a 50-50 chance of having a treasure guard on it. There is a 50-50 chance that this seed will either require or not require magic keys. So you won't know until the players check the 3rd chest in the throne room. If it's gold, no keys. And then the 3rd one is summer sale. So per item that has a 50% chance of rolling on or off, but here that we have random weapon prices on, it's really hard to tell if summer sale ever procs on, but those are our tri-states.
Yeah, and with random weapon prices, especially if keys are off, it'll be interesting to see how people address the beginning of the seed, because sometimes people, if there's a gold chest and get a gold grind going, will go pretty heavy in that. But with random weapon prices, you have no idea how much gold it's going to take. And very often, so the best gear doesn't cost a whole lot. So I imagine we'll see different strats regarding that. But we'll see here in just a little bit, so I think we're getting ready to go.
Yeah, and we will watch our racers start and pay attention to that 3rd chest in the throne room and see if we've got keys or not.
Really hoping, okay, there we go. I was like, please, Cyberdark, don't pick slow.
That would be a bad way to start, but this early on, I guess you could do just a hard reset and probably, not be too upset about it, but it's still not a great thing.
Right. Well, here we got our first chest, a key right away. So we know keys are on, but they also start with a key. Also, 5 strength is not wonderful at all. No spells, but we'll see what they decide to do with this extra key. With chaos stuff, throwing away a key for some items in the treasury can be really useful.
They did get a fairy water as well, so that could help mitigate any kind of early game blockade. So we'll see how useful that fairy water can be.
Oh, true. And yeah, again, with chaos enemies, that means chaos experience and rewards. You might be able to get enough gold pretty quickly to pay for that key. But looks like Artorious, Cyberdark, Thilo, all checking.
We got a torch, a fairy flute. We'll see what this ends up being. Looks like an herb. A bamboo pole that turns out to be another fairy water. So access to a fairy water grind here at the beginning is pretty nice, really.
But is it worth throwing the key away? Because we just saw Miplet go out there, throw that fairy water, take out a skeleton, gain 3 levels and enough money to resupply and have infinite keys. So, the people who lose that key, if that key matters, this could be a problem.
This could be an interesting divergence point because it looks like we've got 2 players that chose to keep the key and 2 players who may be opting to ditch it.
Yeah, we did see the skeleton went down fairly easily. The ghost did not, took out Miplet. And a lot of what we're going to do here is guessing and seeing what these enemies are, because in Chaos setup, the enemy stats are randomized. Now, the easiest ones are thrown into the beginning zones here, but that doesn't always translate the way you think it will.
Yeah, and we can get into some of the exact other flags that we got going on. We have random gold and XP when you kill an enemy, and random stats on the enemies. That's kind of the whole premise of the Chaos flags, but the thing that's not full Chaos is why it's Chaos Light. We have vanilla monster abilities. So whatever these monsters have as abilities in the vanilla Dragon Warrior game, that's what they've got today for the randomizer, with the notable exception of Dragon Lord 1 and 2.
Right, and Cyberdark did take out one of the skeletons, so now he's on the board. But his key, whatever, has been locked in, so we'll see. The Axe Knights do not look fightable right now. The Drolls do not look fightable right now, although Cyberdark just got 100 experience from something.
I didn't catch what that was, but whatever that enemy is definitely the winner for these players.
It was a Droll, so I guess the Droll is fightable, just need, because it's really hard, so you need to get it before it gets you, and I don't think Cyberdark's going to have as much luck with this Axe Knight. I haven't seen anyone do much with it. And the thing to know about this is that we have vanilla abilities on, so this Axe Knight has sleep. And this could be a very unpleasant thing if it decides to do it. Or at least I think it's supposed to have sleep. It doesn't look like a noodle, so I think the abilities stay on regardless.
And getting to at least maybe level 4 was where they got hurt. That does help somewhat, where you kind of just have a baked-in fairy water throw. But getting to that point, looks like it might be a bit of a struggle here. Just gotta kind of get the luck to get past that level 1 hump.
Yeah, a lot of times the Chaos Seeds can be a bit of a trap at the beginning. We've basically given these runners about everything we could to make it easy, but it's still Chaos, so you never know.
And talk a little bit about what kinds of things might make a Chaos Seed easier than a standard K. Like what kinds of things are different about this seed than a standard Chaos Seed that make them a little bit easier?
Again, vanilla abilities more than likely is going to make things easier. If one, there's not going to be any DL2 in the overworld. The only enemy that's going to have that is Dragon Lord 1 or 2. The amount of enemies that have sleep, there's still a decent amount of them, but I think there's only one enemy with 50%, and that's the Magic Wyvern. And there's 2 enemies in the game that have hurt more, and that's, I think, the Wizard and Armored Knight. So a lot of the stuff you see is limited in access, and overall there's a lot more enemies with no abilities in this than there are normally.
Alright, well thank you for that. It looks like Thilo's finally got himself some XP and level 4 and access to hurt and all of the offensive power that it provides, so hopefully can get back on track here and catch up to other racers.
Yeah, and level 8 seemed to be the key level here. We picked up Hurt more, I believe, on 8. I think he might have had Heal more slightly before, and he's looking to move. He is doing that Strength Agility build, which in this particular seed in Chaos Seeds tends to be a little bit better than normal. It doesn't usually fare so well in comparison to Strength HP, just because the Go level is a lot more flexible here, and it's rare that you're fighting specifically for hit points.
And having the XP growth be standard very fast also makes it's less, you don't get those very fast to level 17 randoms, but you also don't have 13,000 XP levels, so you got a pretty consistent, easy way to get your levels.
Right. We do see Artorious has made his way to Mountain Cave. Unfortunately, the Stone Man is not going to be a pushover, and he gets sent out. The stats right now, HP is still kind of low, so the pushing out and exploration too hard, I'm not sure how successful this is going to be. But, we were just talking about vanilla abilities. Right there, Cyberdark is going up against the Drakima that has Hurt and, I believe, Heal at like 50% or something, so it's not too tricky of an enemy either, but he wasn't able to get through that. And that's what you'll see, is sometimes you'll have an enemy like a Drakima that could have 255 attack power, but is going to spam Hurt because it has Hurt and that's on its rotation.
Yeah, sometimes they can have hidden superpowers. And talking about the Strength Agility build, you can take a look at the stats here of the other racers. There's 21, 25, 21 Agility, and then Cyberdark's got 32, so... it's not an incredible amount, but it's definitely a significant amount more that could, especially with the alternate run algorithm on, could lead to a little bit more success in pushing out.
Yeah, and heck, we just saw 4 caves on one screen on Cyberdark's. And I do want to mention, I don't know if you guys caught that, the Druin hitting Artorious for 95 damage. That's something we got to look out for. That's not an enemy they're going to want to have to see in Sharlock.
That's hard to heal more through.
Yeah, right now, I mean, obviously have more defense later. He's rocking 10 defense points, but that's rough. And Cyberdark gets the same treatment that Artorious did in Mountain. It is a scary place, and you should not go there yet. Or maybe you can. I don't know. He can do what he wants. He's an adult.
One of those situations where the real scary enemies are real fun for viewers and not as much fun for racers.
So this is actually kind of funny. Cyberdark's now fighting this Axe Knight. It resisted the hurt more. I was poo-pooing it. There it is. There's the sleep. It's maybe not the best fight, but it's the best experience enemy I think we've seen so far. I think it was a little over 200. So Axe Knight, local grind might be the thing, but Thilo found 2 towns right over a bridge. Looked really nice and very much not a ROM hack. We'll see if we're getting good shopping here. Yeah, Flame Sword for 5. That's probably good.
I'd buy it, yeah.
Yeah, again, with Summer Sale, it makes things cheaper, but it's the random weapon prices that are the big deal. So everything is fairly cheap, and he's already kitted out pretty good. Not necessarily, I'm done playing the game. Pretty good.
Yeah, substantial upgrade in every aspect there, defensively and offensively. Big additions to his pre-existing stats.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Now he gets his keys back. So if Rim had continued to elude everybody for a long time, that could be a bit of an issue. But he doesn't have to worry about it. I'm not 100% sure the losing the key benefited him tremendously, but he gets it back. He's good. I'm not sure. Has miplet checked the treasure yet? He was the one that I was aware didn't. But I don't think there was just throwables, right? There was no really important thing over there.
I see that he picked up the flute around 4 minutes, so I think that he did make his way there eventually.
Okay. And so our other town over there was Garanham. Cyberdark now finding Tablet Cave. So I think the 4 caves in the west were what? Mountain Cave and Swamp and Rainbow Drop Cave, and I forget the other one.
I think it was Swamp. According to chat, it might have been Swamp North and South, both right there.
Oh, there we go. Oh, it was the Harp. It was the Jerk? I thought Mountain was over there. Maybe I'm hallucinating. It's possible. I am very bad at keeping track of map stuff when I'm doing commentating.
It's a lot to keep track of all. It's so much easier to keep track of things when you're just watching. That's why the work that the trackers do is invaluable.
Thilo running into a wizard. Wizard looking like it's got some power. The big problem here is that it has hurt more, and yeah, he's out. So
and it likes to use it.
Yeah, I think it's 50% hurt more in the vanilla game. So wizards are kind of a gross fight in vanilla because of that. Usually not the best thing to see. Oh, and I'm being told Mountain is in the castle, so that's why I was seeing Mountain and not realizing it. There we go.
Yeah, it looks like Thilo's headed down there right now, while we got a red dragon on Cyberdark's screen.
I think these guys are defense broke and cowardly, and I wouldn't be surprised if they run before he kills them.
Uh-huh, and I bet they're about 7 to 12 XP.
I mean, it's hard for them to be better than normal, so you almost expect just being nothing. Right, Miplet's trying to fight the Axe Knight, the Hurtmore also failing. It's unfortunate that our other players haven't seen that because, I mean, maybe Artorious has, I haven't quite caught that, but that's been why Cyberdark's been able to move around so well. It looks like Artorious is getting, 128 from a Poltergeist. That didn't seem like that tricky of a fight, but he's basically exhausted his resources. But he does have the lead now.
Yeah, it looks like Miplet was Hurtmoring Troll there, so getting around 100 XP. It's all pretty good at this point.
When you see all the swamp and you have 8 hit points, and you're just like, well, I guess this is where we're gonna take the nap.
Yeah, the king says death should not have taken you, but the hero knows that, yeah, it should have.
Funny seeing a gold man give 5 experience on 145 gold.
It's always fun when you get the lowly slimes that can be crazed killers in some of these chaos seeds. I don't think that we've seen any that are particularly outrageous, but that's always fun.
That was funny seeing Miplet swing on the slime, and it hit him for 1 twice when he had 2 hit points.
Yeah, that was pretty amusing, yeah. We've got a lot of slimes on screen right now, really. Artorious fighting the 34 XP green dragon.
Cyberdark hurt mooring a 116 experience Demon Knight. It's a little bit better than normal. The fact you can hurt more them makes them nice.
Yeah, anything that you can kill with 1 hurt more and having access to hurt more feels really good.
I would say right now, level 10, this is when I think it feels alright to explore. You know there's no DL2 breath out there to get you, and you have heal and hurt more. You feel pretty kitted out to deal with this stuff, so until then it's... Oh, and I just see, like, the Stone Man is almost identical to the Gold Man. That's amazing.
That's really funny. And yeah, now at level 10, Artorious with 60 agility to Cyberdark's 64, so the discrepancy between the builds has caught up a bunch more. We're definitely a lot more able to run away from things out there.
So I was watching Artorious, but I think I missed some of the stuff. I don't think he got anything particularly interesting out of Mountain. If I am wrong, let me know. Yeah, he got a key, so I guess he has keys. I think he had lost key access, so that's good. And I think the only person that's seen the town so far is Thilo, who is right back near them. Looks like maybe the rest of the towns are past that, or maybe through Swamp. You know, I'm just saying that right now Cyberdark finds one.
And Thilo finally gets hurt more, so has the opportunity to start really exploring the ins and outs of the enemies now.
Also, apologies. Cyberdark found an X-Town. But hey, we get to see what's on the spike. It is a rogue scorpion. Is this going to be something he can take out? It is 1 shot and it's 6 experience. Exactly what we'd expect.
It does get rewarded with the sword, though, so at least not a total disappointment.
Yeah, that could be pretty big. Oh, we see Thilo take out that wizard, and so in Garenham we have the harp. You know, good. You always want to see that kind of early, although considering where all the trade-ins are, you're probably not trading in the harp for the staff until you're got everything else anyway.
Yeah, not so much on this particular seed, but most of the time it feels real good to find the harp nice and early and know that whenever you run into the trade-in cave, you can just get it done.
Also, what the heck? 1 gold silver shield. It's amazing.
Wow, I don't know if I've ever seen 1 gold for sale, but that's pretty special. Congratulations to all the runners.
So if I'm remembering this right, Cyberdark is our only player who doesn't have keys right now. I think did he throw away his? I think Artorious Artorious has keys. Thilo has keys. Miplet never really lost them, so that's unfortunate to get to Cantlin and not be able to do anything with it. But on that note, it looks like Thilo had found Grave, and I believe that is the Fighter's Ring. Probably the big winner out of that.
You wouldn't, you might not think that 2 attack power feels real good, but it feels real good.
I mean, you never feel bad seeing it unless you really needed something else, but that's one of those, like, oh, armor is in the absolute bottom of Charlotte. Great. Now, Artorious does have keys and has found Cantlin, got himself a silver shield, and we'll see if he is... Yeah, he's going to go in here, check the shop, and probably check coordinates. It seems like it. He didn't heal up, which is maybe not odd, but the routing-wise feels a little bit like maybe he's not going to go for it, so...
He elects not to purchase the 13,000 gold full plate.
Oh, and Cyberdark has found coal now, so maybe we'll see Artorious head over there pretty quickly, too.
take a look here, see if we get a potential treasure guard here on the search spot. We do. And there's not an item there either.
All right, yep, and I don't think we saw the chest in Rim before. I don't think Thilo checked it, but it is a torch. So looks like he's gonna go back around and get more keys as a result. And Artorious is gonna heal up. We'll see if he gives us a coordinate check here in just a little bit.
Yeah, getting more likely that something of value is going to be on the coordinates. It's not a guarantee, but it feels like the odds are in our favor that something important is going to be on those coordinates.
So what's the over-under on Artorious checking the radish vendor? What do you think?
Ooh, I'm going to put it on a solid 62% check.
Hey, he did it.
You'll love to see it.
Yeah, for those who don't know, we still have our radish percent tourney ongoing as well. It's been kind of a play whenever you have time sort of thing. And he has been, I think he's still alive. Are you still alive, Hoodie?
I am, yeah. I am awaiting the result of the, I think it's the DK Mand matchup in the lower bracket.
I see. Hey, and Artorious decided to hurt the wall in Cantland. But yeah, here we go. Coordinates 16 north, 0 east. That's funny.
Or Gwalen. Yeah, I think our runners are going to be able to count that one out.
So Thilo taking a death. I assume that was on purpose. That was a weird one, though. And now, we haven't really talked too much about it, but Miplet has caught right back up in experience. I think he's starting to push the exploration a little bit, but he did settle down and do a bit of a grind. Again, as you said before, we have very fast experience, so the experience is predictable. No random stuff here, but it can still be really like wanting to just get up and go.
And looks like it was the Stones of Sunlight on the coordinates there, after Artorious did the Death Warp after learning about the whereabouts.
I mean, you're happy to get him out of the way, but I don't know. Did he did not see Cole pass there. Now, Cole didn't have anything, but it could have, and that could be bad. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it could lead to him having to go back, retrace his steps back to that area to check it.
So I see 2 towns and Charlock, but I think that's just Cantland and Cole, if I remember right. It's a little hard to tell because I keep flipping between map types, and they look different even though they're not different.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. We got an excellent move on a Chaos Metal Slime. Always love to see stuff like that.
Yeah, I had a seed earlier. I did a practice seed in the Metal Slimes where we're 320 experience. And they were like one-shots. It was amazing.
That's pretty great. Yeah, usually you get so excited about an excellent move on a Metal Slime, and then you realize in Chaos it could be worth 3 experience.
Yeah, so what are we still missing? We're missing the token, and we're missing the armor and the death necklace. Those are all still outstanding. Oh, we do see a cave over here. Kind of a fun walk. Was this the grave that we had seen before, or what else is even left?
The Stones of Sunlight Cave.
Yep, it was the one thing I didn't say. Perfect.
And has a cursed belt.
Yeah, that's also not really perfect.
And you get another one of these, I'm not really sure what to call this land formation that we got on Artorious' side, but I feel like these kinds of thin strips in between bridges show up quite a bit.
Yeah, I remember this was before I started playing the Rando, but there was an update that people called the bridge update, where all of a sudden rivers and bridges appeared everywhere. And yeah, this is, I usually call them if they're really swampy. I just call them the Florida Keys. So you can wave to Angel. I'm just kidding. He doesn't live over there.
It's a lot of fun. You just have to be on your toes, because sometimes you can be lazy about looking at the land features and then miss a pretty obvious chunk of the map.
So speaking of the having to go back to the Cantland area, Cyberdark now has his keys again, and I imagine we will see him head over there, at some point. Probably the next time he's, warps over, but he has now got key access, so everyone has key access unless somebody blew it while we weren't paying attention.
Yep. Have we seen them go inside Garenham and check the chests and underneath yet?
We have seen people go into Garenham. I think was underneath the tablet cave, or I can't remember for sure. But yeah, we did see that one chest had a wizard blocking it, and it was the harp, which is what Thilo got. So maybe Cyberdark will show that to us here in a little bit too. Excuse me, it's Grave. That makes sense, because he's the only person I've seen in Grave. He's the only one with the fighter's ring.
Now, it looks like Miplet's still working with no equipment, so hopefully he can find his way to a shop and pick something up in the near future. I mean, Hurtmore makes it pretty decent, but sometimes you can have some favorable enemies that are immune to Hurtmore that die to a pretty easy swing, so hopefully he can get himself some equipment here soon.
Yeah, I do want to point out, sometimes we don't really talk about the sprites, but we do have both Red Slime players here on the top, Miplet and Thilo. I think they're the only two who routinely use that particular sprite.
It is a duel of the red slimes, indeed, and they bounce around the screen pretty enjoyably. They're a pretty nice sprite choice.
And then, of course, Artorious playing as Zelda 1 Link, and Cyberdark as Blaster Master. Or, no, Bomberman, that's right. I don't know why I always say that way. Bomberman.
One of the great things about the randomizer is the wide variety of sprite options that are available to the players. It's truly a tapestry of really fun things. It's a great credit to the community.
Yeah, we have a good maybe 40-some options loaded in, and then there's a number of players who have made their own. I think Diabetes2 is particularly prolific in the sprite creating. I think he's got a couple of dozen sitting around.
And it looks like so far, Artorious and Thilo are the only two runners that have any of their homework completed. Thilo having found the Silver Harp and traded it in for the Staff of Rain, and Artorious having found the stones on the coordinates.
Now, Cyberdark actually got the harp just a little bit ago. I think we just missed it.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, we're just looking at kind of the people leveling up. Artorious here with the lead at 12. 12 is not great, but the stats are very kind of even, which is interesting, because you don't feel like you're close to being in go mode right now, because of the way the stats are. You don't expect to get 20 and everything. Usually the way things go, they shoot kind of sideways all over the place.
Yeah, they're generally not as consistent across the board as this, so that is interesting. And with these flag sets and Sharlock being short, where you go straight to the bottom floor, a lot of the times, if you can get your homework done quickly, even if you're wildly unprepared, runners will go in and check for, if they're missing sword or armor, or just to see what the spike tile is, or to, maybe scout out DL1 or DL2. And so our runners being so far away from having the rainbow drop means that no one's really going to get the opportunity to do that early.
Yeah, and with tokens still outstanding, and we've seen Hawksness, we're just, we almost, does the token have to be here in Deep Grave? I'm trying to think if there's anything else we're missing.
I think we've seen pretty much everything else. I don't know where else it could be.
We have seen Cole. Cole was empty. I think Cyberdark's the only one that's seen it, though. Artorious went over there, but then he bailed and just took the Death Warp inside of Cantlin, which, again, they both have to kind of go back there. So I'm not sure how much of an advantage it was outside of getting the 1 gold silver shield.
And if Artorious can manage to find all that he's looking for, he might not have to go back to Cold, but it's pretty likely he'll probably go back in that region.
And Cyberdark survives the Druin, which currently I think the Druin is our biggest scary enemy, but he barely survived that too. I think he was at max hit points and lost 60. Easily could have died if didn't have, some of that gear he got.
And Droll's still looking like a pretty... you love it when the treasure guard runs away and you just get a free item. And there is the token down there in chest 5 in the grave.
So the deep grave dive pays off for him. I think this means that armor is going to be in Sharlock, which isn't nearly as bad as it normally would be. The knight ran away again. That's amazing.
And the worst possibility is that it's on the judges table, but even then, it's not as bad as it could be in a normal circumstance. So,
I almost want him to go back because it was on the exact same spot, and now I'm wondering if you don't kill the treasure guard and it runs away, if it'll respawn. I'm pretty sure that's a no, but it made me think about it that way. And yeah, he has to do the long walk out, which is a good reason to not deep dive grave. If you don't have outside, but he got what he needed, so it's kind of hard to criticize that.
Yeah, it's a lot worse if you end up with a goose egg instead of ending up with something that you were hoping for. So that eases the sting a little bit for sure.
All right, Thilo has now found Hawk's Nest, I believe. What did we have in Hawk's Nest again? Was it anything? I can't remember. So
it was.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was talking without the push to talk. I think it was a rogue scorpion, and then there was a rogue scorpion. So.
That's right, Erdrick's sword. I had forgotten about it entirely, and yeah, he has nothing to do with the wizard. This was mentioned in chat before. I think our big problem right now with the seed is the lack of good enemies. The best that I've seen is the Axe Knight, which is in the beginning area, which seems to be hurt more proof. And with Erdrick's sword, I don't think they're going to have much of a problem. But, who has seen that? And are they going to be able to do anything about it,
And, it's only 25%, but the sleep can be a little bit of an annoyance, if nothing else.
I also want to point out that I've seen 2 people walk and get a green dragon right on top of the wings now. That's a possible treasure guarded enemy, so that just sounds funny. The exact same enemy twice.
That's a really funny coincidence.
And yeah, I guess I'm saying we haven't seen anything absolutely amazing. There's been a number of 100 experience enemies, but I feel like our grind zone is going to be very close to start. It just seems like that's been, like, even Droll's 100 experience, that sort of thing.
Yeah, you could one-shot a Droll with enough attack power, so 100 XP for one swing isn't too bad.
I mean, nobody has checked the swamp spike, but spikes in Chaos tend towards being very bad. That doesn't mean it will, but they tend to be.
Yeah, there's generally some stat that is overrepresented, and it could be, agility for high defense, or HP, or like a slow fight if it has good XP, or, something that's going to do 90 damage to you if you don't kill it in one hit.
So is Cyberdark going to Mountain? I don't think he's dove it yet, so even though we've been focusing on him a little bit, because he kind of seemed like he might be in the lead here, the fact that he's going to go through all this and get nothing is going to take up a bit of time.
Yeah, despite some discrepancies here and there, nobody really has a good handle on everything that they need for the seed. And like we were saying with the known very fast XP limits, if anybody finds a decent grind, they could skyrocket in the XP department. So this race is still pretty wide open for any of our racers.
Yeah, Artorious now is almost at the end of Deep Grave. He is diving. He'll get the token and can turn in all of the stuff and go to Sharlock. But I'm not sure he saw where Sharlock was because, again, he just died in Cantland and didn't finish exploring that area. And I'm not sure if it was 100% visible.
So this will give Artorious a little bit of an advantage and maybe put him a little bit in the driver's seat here. Be interesting to see how quickly the stats start to come once we get into the teens here.
Right. Miplet himself is now diving Deep Grave, and Thilo has just made it over to the greater Cantland area, and he does not care about this town. He just wants to figure out where the cords are. He is laser focused on that, which, I mean, if you look at his gear, he's fine, so...
He's a slime that cares about nothing but that old man.
Yeah, I said laser focused, and then he stopped to check his keys. which is smart. It's you know, anytime you're in a place where you can check your keys, you probably want to just to make sure. And it looks like Artorious is also doing the long walk of pain out of grave.
That's a bummer, but again, you got what you were looking for, so it's hard to feel too bad about it. Also, probably knowing that you don't have outside and anybody else who is hoping, you know, maybe it's at 13, you don't know, but I mean, you're there, you kind of have to do it, right?
Yeah, and I thought Artorious might, I guess there isn't really much to push through yet here. It might be interesting to see if he just warps back and walks over to the cave place to take care of that stuff before he pushes forward, because, I don't know, in my mind, he hasn't seen coal, and that's on paper an 80% chance to have it there, but it's also possibly the death necklace, which in this particular flag set, the death necklace is kind of weak. If you know what the enemies are packing down there, it's a lot more useful, but if you don't, it can be a really scary proposition to rely on that, because it's less hit points to survive DL2, and then you have to use it on DL1 or before, and then there's all sorts of problems there.
Yeah, definitely. If you haven't scouted out DL2 at all and have no information, it's a much riskier play. It could have, you know, 200 HP. It's just it's a dicey proposition.
And unfortunately for Artorious, I think he's going the wrong direction if he wanted to get those trade-ins done. I mean, he's going to see, or maybe he is. I'm trying to remember where everything is, and I'm getting confused. Because he walked by what I thought was coal, but maybe wasn't. And, yeah, I think he, I know he knows where the caves are, because I think we've seen everybody over there by now, and he was the first one to get kind of tossed.
Yeah, maybe just forgot the exact location, but is it up this way? I think he's maybe, maybe not. This is a town, but was there a town in the cave conglomeration? I can't remember.
No. I think the caves were west of Tantagel. So he found coal. This is what he thinks he needs, but he's wrong. Which, you know, anyone would be like, hey, give me coal before I start digging Sharlock. But yeah, nothing. Unfortunate.
Yeah, we have the knowledge, but he definitely made the mathematically correct play for having no information. So it's hard to say that he did anything but the right play there.
So again, the question is, did he... what is it? Has he seen Sharlock? Because I didn't see Sharlock when he was over there on his screen. And maybe I'm hallucinating, but if he hasn't, that could possibly be a problem. Anyway, Cyberdark now going to get his coordinates, and then he is in the same shape as Artorious.
Very exciting here. And the coordinates, as we know, are not too far away from Tantagel there, so should be a pretty quick acquisition for him.
Yeah, he does have the advantage of having the magic armor, but they're looking for the armor. They're not really attempting to do anything without it, so... You know, as far as progression and everything goes, Artorious got a little bit of a lead here. Cyberdark seems to be fairly close behind. Thilo is homing in right now on the token. It's the only place that's left for him. And Miplet is... I'm not 100% sure. He's just leaving Grave now, so...
Yeah, things are all converging, and we have no idea what awaits us in Sharlock. We could have the craziest DL1 we've ever seen, or, you know, a powder puff. It's hard to know, so things could still be pretty wild here in the finish.
Yeah, the ability to find the good grind here at the end of the game might be key, but, you know, we're almost there, so, you know, who wants to play the $100 million pyramid? I always forget what it's called, but... you know, where is the armor? Is it on the 50 chest, the 100, 150, 200, 250, or is it in our 300, and then I guess what's left? The judges table. Where do you think it's going to be?
I'm gonna go for 200. That's me personally, and let's see what Chad has. We've got a judges table, 2 for judges. We've got 300.
Also worth noting, Artorious is... Ooh, do not want to see the Druid there. Artorious is on his last key. So hopefully everything goes well between now and the chess.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a risk, but hopefully, you know, nothing outrageous happens here.
You got the Death Necklace. That's on the 200.
And he gets the armor.
All right, well, let's see what he decides to do now, because again, stats are not there. We've seen the blue dragon before. It's worth about 80, 90 experience. It's not the sort of thing you really want to mess with. But he might peep the spike just in case.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad play, especially considering, like we've been saying, that the XP has been a little bit hard to pin down a really valuable grind. So if there's something good on the spike tile, it could be a really big advantage.
So nobody said the $250 chest, but Hate did say 250, and it was in reference to agility. So I'm going to give him partial credit. Maybe Bork gets a little bit too for the 250 strength DL1.
Yeah, they were circling around it for sure.
Wraithlight gets the award for the most useless enemy with the 1 experience and 2 gold.
You hate to see that, you know, the, what is that, the standard vanilla red slime stats?
Yeah, that's about as bad as it gets. And so we see a Drakey-Maw on the spike here. Again, it does have heal and hurt. Has a decent amount of defense, but I think this one's here because it's a thick boy. It's got a whole lot of HP.
You're saying that this Drakey-Maw has some cake.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Able to, you know, slice through it for a 7 XP bounty.
Yeah, not great. And it looks like Artorious is just gonna go bug the Dragon Lord real quick and try to learn some secrets, do a little bit of scouting here. As our Cyberdark picks up his level and then realizes how bad his stats are.
Yeah, he's gonna get slapped in the face a couple times and then reassess the situation, I think.
So DL1 has weak breath, and it looks and sleep. There it is. That's exactly what you want to know. If it has it, you want to see it.
Ooh, and the no effect. You hate to see that.
It'll eventually work, right?
And there it was.
You almost wish you. Yeah, sorry. You almost wish you could have hurt more instead of the weak breath, so you could block everything. But here we go. Our first look at the Dragon Lord, the second form.
And being able to figure out if it has sleep would actually be a huge help right now. But pretty likely just to take some attacks and see what happens here.
You know, I thought he might heal just to take a peek there and see if the sleep pops up, but I don't know. A lot of people have it in their heads just to throw out the stop spell regardless, because you will never know about the heal till you see it.
Yeah, and definitely if you have extra MP to spend, then, you know, it makes it a little bit easier to do that. But if you're right on the cusp, it's definitely much more of a question.
So Artorious is going to check the other spike. This is interesting. If this winds up being good, it's good, but it's not. It's bad. So he needs to find the grind real quick, because he doesn't have any real substantial lead in experience. In fact, he's last. But just by a little bit.
Yeah, this is one of the ones where if I was playing this, I would feel like everybody knew a better place to grind than I did, and I would be feeling stressed about the XP situation.
Well, I think he's done the most dedicated grinding in the overworld. Might be wrong about that, but he did see the Poltergeists were pretty good, and he's going after them. So, you know, it's 120, but in chaos stuff, that's good enough a lot of times. And Cyberdark is now out. We'll see what he decides to grind on.
But yeah, you get a one-turn battle that gives you, you know, around 130 XP. It's hard to be sad with that.
He fights a ghost. That's not great. I know he's looking for the Axe Knight, I'm sure. But he's doing it in the forest and not the hills, which I wonder if he knows about a zone boundary there, or if he's just, I don't know, being particular.
Yeah, it's hard to know. I definitely haven't been paying close enough attention to know if there's any, you know, zone border shenanigans going on.
I'd say right now, the way this looks, I think Cyberdark's gonna have a bit of an advantage because the enemies he's looking for are coming up a little bit more. He's got more than one option.
Yeah, that is a nice, that is another consideration when you're thinking about the enemy grinds, is maybe there's one superb enemy in a zone and then 4 duds, and then you could have a zone that have, you know, 3 pretty good enemies and 2 duds, and, you know, that 3 enemy zone might be just by far the better choice.
So Thilo looks like he's trying to grind a level, and I think he's just ready to go to Sharlock, but he wants to like get a level or something really quick. Which again, maybe he's gonna just try to win this right now. No reason to dive and check stuff when you can just march right in and win. And maybe we can grind. We can judge his grind as well.
Skeleton not looking like the enemy here.
Nah, I mean that was something that you dealt with early, but let me see. What's the next level? Oh, there it is. That might have been. He might have just been checking for that specifically, and it's not great.
Gonna have to get to 5,000 here to get to level 15, so not too far away, but also another 10, 100 XP battles away.
Yeah, Miplet has also picked up his radishes, so he's going to be heading to get the stones here in just a little bit too. So, assuming he goes directly there, he might not. Again, Cole is just to the northeast a little ways, and that might be interesting as well.
Here's Thilo going into Sharlock, hoping to get the armor, and very likely will. And then we'll see if he takes a check at the Spike Tile and the Dragon Lord as well.
Yeah, see, he got the definitely the enemies in Sharlock are not interesting to fight for experience. I don't remember what the Druid had, but it was not anything fancy, and that's the one you don't want to see here. Everything else is just terrible, like high agility and giving no rewards.
Yeah, the Druid has a healthy 5 XP to offer.
Yeah, but he gets away from that one. That's important. Miplet now picking up the stones, and Thilo is right about armor. We'll see if Miplet charges right back over into that area.
And there's the armor for Thilo, and likely to go further down and explore the rest of this floor.
And Cyberdark has taken a slight lead over Artorious. I may have talked too soon about this grind. I think Artorious is actually finding the enemies a little bit more frequently than Cyberdark. But he did seem one of those Axe Knights, and I think that's going to be the key. Every Axe Knight he gets is probably going to give just a little bit of a boost.
And we still really don't have any information on DL2. We don't know if he's got no abilities and 100 HP, or maybe a heal more and 200 some odd HP. It's still a total mystery, so we have no idea how close these runners are to being ready to win the game.
Right, and yeah, until you see the hit points close to 90, like 100, unless you have a ridiculous amount of MP and strength, that's the hardest of lines, but it's still going to be pretty rough. And so we see Thilo doing his check. Miplet looks like he might be going in the right direction, but he's got a way to go, and he has fallen behind in the experience while he's been doing town stuff and getting trade-ins.
Yeah, I think that, if you got all the data at the end of this one, you got a graph to visualize all the forerunners and their XP totals throughout the race. I think it would be a pretty fluctuating, interesting graph to look at.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's fallen ahead fallen behind or went ahead by any tremendous amount, but they've definitely been trading positions a lot.
Absolutely. And Thilo had a little bit of a slower start than the others, but is absolutely right there in the mix in terms of XP with everybody else. So a very impressive showing to bounce back from that hard start.
And Miplet is going into Sharlock again. I don't know if he knows about Cole, but I do want to mention, we talk about odds in this sort of scenario, things like that. Actually, if you blind don't know where Cole is, and you know every chest check is in Sharlock that's left, and you're missing 2 key items, it's actually, by just straight odds, a 60% chance that the armor is in Sharlock, which is very odd. Like, normally you don't play those sorts of odds, but we've seen somebody in the standard tournament, I believe Kiglis did an attempt like that, and it backfired, unfortunately, but that sort of odds play I don't think is always obvious to people.
There's a lot of stuff that you can have a significant advantage in this game if you have a lot of things. Oh, and there's no key for Miplet to open the door. Oh no.
And so he's gonna have to go back to Rim or Dive Grave. No, wait, the other key was in Mountain. So yeah, this is gross. He's probably like, okay, where's Rim? Where's Rim? And that's gonna suck. Like, we know Artorious is out of keys, but he shouldn't need any more. And for some reason, Cyberdark is rescuing the princess. I'm not sure why.
That is interesting.
I wonder if he thinks random experience is on, and this is something to do in regards to that, because
that was what I was thinking too. Yeah, I've seen a number of people practicing, and I think that there is a not too uncommon misconception that week 2 is also random XP gain or random requirements for levels.
No, it's not Three's Company. Three's Company is next week. Flowers referencing we had a bit of an issue with the tracker where we actually have the week 2 flags from last year up there. So some of the stuff has been a little bit confusing, which is why we're not showing them to you on screen, unfortunately. But now I think he's turning in the princess, and he is thinking that we have random experience, which we do not.
Well, that's going to cost him a little bit of time here on the grind, so we'll see if and how relevant that might be.
Hopefully he's able to get back to it, but he's basically fallen, like, Thilo is almost caught up to him, and he's lost 500 experience compared to Artorious while he's been doing this. I don't know if Thilo's grind, well, let's see, he's got Demon Knight, so he's got something, but I'm not sure if he's doing anything that's particularly better.
Yeah, it would be a real interesting one to, have that. I think it was Asmati that was doing the live XP tracking in the standard tournament. That was really cool. Really informative stuff there. It's really fun to see those kinds of things.
Yeah, unfortunately, Asmati is not with us today, but I think he's busy playing Tetris 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a lot of work. It's just it's really remarkable to be able to do stuff like that. It's pretty cool. But we're here watching them each with their unique grinds. Miplet finding the keys in Rim here, so he's going to be able to go back and get that armor eventually.
And maybe he'll have a better beat on what grinds to do, because again, I'm not saying anyone's doing bad here. It just nothing of what these guys are doing. I'm like, if I'm them, I don't feel good about any of this. It all feels kind of gross. So Thilo does throw out the stop spell, but I mean, he can one-shot the Demon Knight. Demon Knights do have heal, so I understand the compulsion.
Yeah, there's just nothing jumping out. Like you were saying, I would feel like I had definitely found the worst grind if I was playing, just because of how bad everything seems to feel. There's just not a clear answer, and you kind of just have to find something and believe in it and stick to it at this point, I think.
Yeah, and that is 100% not what Cyberdark is doing. He is wandering around trying to find something better. And now he's fighting a golem. I do not recall seeing a golem, so maybe there's something interesting here. Crits it for, well, no, 55. That's nothing.
And yeah, 55 is a little bit disappointing.
Does have a Poltergeist. Those are pretty good. And Artorious is picking up level 16. Looks like 7, 4, 2... and the rest of the spells, which, outside would have been useful a lot earlier. This is still... hit points just aren't there.
Yeah, still needing, at least a dozen HP to even think about Sniff in the end, but potentially even more than that, or, higher strength and MP in addition.
That is a very interesting point that Destiny has pointed out. That Thilo and Cyberdark not having HP in their builds will have less hit points, and it's only going to get worse as time goes on, the difference. It is very possible that a safe go level will be seen by Artorious and Miplet before Cyberdark and Thilo if things play out in a very specific way, which could be really bad.
Yeah, definitely interesting when you get, because a lot of times most everybody uses the same, combination of strength HP, but when you get the variances in the names, it definitely provides some interesting circumstances.
And yeah, there's no hard requirement for hit points, but the Dragon Lord can go up to 48 with its breath, and so having 96 or more than 96 is generally considered to be comfortable. A little bit more than that's usually preferred too, just so if you have a bad heal more, you don't wind up in a position where you might have to use double. That said, I don't think we saw anything super scary out of DL1. You're gonna use a stop spell on him. You're probably gonna throw a stop spell. Hopefully, only one stop spell on the Dragon Lord on DL2, and then I think the spike was the Drakima. Even though it hits kind of hard, I think you're gonna ignore that. So if you come in repelling, you're pretty much just worrying about what Druins and Magidrakes, and they don't seem to be blocking you.
And our runners all are fortunate enough to have picked up a real cheap silver shield, so having the high defense is going to be a big advantage, not only in repelling those enemies in Sharlock, but also mitigating the physical attacks from the Dragon Lord. So hopefully you can swing on 49 with confidence.
Yeah, I think right now, I don't know, every point of defense matters, but 90 and 94 are kind of breakpoints. So, the range actually goes down. And then if you only have to worry about the max DL2 breath roll, I believe the odds of seeing that on any particular attack are 1 in 16. So it's basically the equivalent of DL2 hurt-moring you, you hurt-moring him.
And here we have Miplet taking his first stab at scouting out DL1 and DL2. See if he learns anything new. If he makes it to DL2, if he learns anything new and interesting that we don't already know.
Yeah, I see Cyberdark checking the princess again, and I wonder if he's going to feel that the level requirements are pretty even. So, all that said, Artorious is closing in on the next level. I think Thilo's moved to Hawksness Zone, which is pretty close, but I don't know. Wizards were okay. I think there was a Poltergeist there. I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where when you're grinding, without the access to the knowledge that we have, seeing everybody's screen, it just feels so bad to be knowing that you need XP and that you're racing against other people and that you feel like this grind is inadequate. So I totally understand the desire to look for something better to give yourself the edge,
Also, it's funny that Artorious is in the zone that Cyberdark was in before. Cyberdark has abandoned that zone, and his zone is a little bit closer to what Artorious was doing. Thilo was in a zone, and now he's like, no one is comfortable with what they're doing right now. And you can really feel it. And we'll see, where does Miplet decide to go? Does he have the answer? Or is he just winging it like everyone else?
I think that they're all just out there, floating in the wind, living life as it comes to them, hoping for something good to come their way, because it's looking real tough out there to make like a real informed decision about what the best source of XP is.
So where he is right now, seeing Demon Knights, is not bad, and that looks like he's in a zone that Thilo was in earlier before he dove for the armor. So Miplet's got quite a disadvantage in the experience. He has to come up quite a bit, but it's not impossible if you find something particularly good, especially compared to our runners on the right, who are going to potentially have an issue with the hit points. Of course, hit points are like the easiest stat to just see skyrocket. So.
Yeah, and who knows if it's going to stay low just in general for 2 or 3 more levels anyway, despite the stat variance. So we'll see. Be really interesting to see what the spread is on 17 for sure.
Now, I think... Oh, shoot, there it is. Artorious, 53 hit points at level 17. This feels like it's worth trying now. It's still not... I don't know, in Standard, I'm not 100% sure if this is Go, maybe with Fairy Water. But you definitely feel a whole lot better now.
Might even be worth just picking up some Fairy Waters just for giggles anyway, and seeing if you make it deep into DL2 and you start throwing them out, maybe you'll get there.
Yeah, it's the strength to magic is still not great, but Thilo is just about to get the level 2. This Droll will do it, and I bet he does the exact same thing Artorious does. And Artorious is going for the Fairy Water, I think, so we'll see him fill up on that, and I would not be surprised at all to see Thilo go. Doesn't have the best because of the little bit less hit points, but he does have better defense. When you do a strength agility build, if you think about the Death Necklace, you go early. And I'm not sure where he's going. He might have forgotten where the nearest town was.
Oh yeah, and let's see.
Or he might have never found coal or any of that too. He just went down to Breck. So I think this is a fairy water thing, and I think he just forgot how close Cantland was.
Yeah, and it is interesting with the variants in the stat builds that Artorious does have the option to pretty comfortably use the Death Necklace. I mean, it's always a little bit dicier and weaker, like you said earlier, in this flag set, but he does have the option available to him in a little bit more of a comfortable way than Thilo does at the moment.
Yeah, I think, again, I think in this scenario, there's no chance that Thilo or Cyberdark would shy away from a Death Necklace, even though it would put them in kind of not the best combination of stuff. I think you accept that if you take the agility build, that you have to swing on 48s on breaths in this sort of scenario. And yeah, it looks like they're going to enter almost identically.
And Thilo and Cyberdark have 96 and above defense, so that is a pretty good number.
I think that's the first time I've seen the Rogue Scorpion actually attack anybody, and it did 53 damage. That's great.
These are the kinds of things that really add spice and flavor to this randomizer experience.
Yeah, wasn't the Rogue Scorpion like a treasure guard or something? No, I think they saw it early.
It was protecting the sword in Hawksness.
And everybody just, I think, one-shot it, and then now it's doing 50-some damage.
It's really having a comeback moment here.
Alright, so Artorious is starting the Drakima, and has finished the Drakima. I think it probably was around 150 hit points. I wouldn't mind seeing that on screen if somebody wanted to throw it out.
And he's going to be a fool and hold B. We'd love to see it.
He's going to throw the stop spell on this one. Good, first try, that's what you want. And it took him was it him or Cyberdark? Whoever was here first, it was 3 tries. And yeah, we do see 177 hit points on that Drakima. It's a bit chunky. And Thilo is not having a good time of it, but Artorious now, the first one on the actual fight. We'll see, is he going to go to the stop spell immediately? He does.
And he got it, so, either a very lucky roll or potentially Dragon Lord's got sleep or heal.
Well, I think it's set so that even if he doesn't have an ability, it still has the same roll chance.
Ah, I see. So we have no idea. This is very exciting.
And I have already lost track of what the count is.
Utilizing his fairy water, though.
Yeah, and it's going good so far. This is really going to come down to if he doesn't have heal and has a lot of hit points, he might not have the juice for this.
He did opt to not use the Death Necklace here, so we'll see how it works out. He is much more likely to get double attacks, though.
Right. I mean, you have a decent amount of MP. And Thilo sees the sleep. He must not have seen it before, or he didn't care.
Might be able to make it out, though. He makes it out seemingly pretty well, despite the sleep. So here he is on DL2, and we'll see how his fight goes, too.
All right. Again, Artorious is swinging 6 to 12, so an 8. You don't want to see that. He is deciding to heal more there. You have chance for doubles. You don't really want to press them because you're going to get them at some point anyway. But another 7, kind of icky rolls.
Does get another double, though, and an 11, so that's pretty good.
All right, yeah, definitely still... Oh, 9. Yeah, 9's not great. Really needs to see those double digits.
It looks like both of our runners who are currently facing the Dragon Lord opted to not use the Death Necklace, so they're both going to stick it out with their current attack power and their higher HP total.
And as far as we know, this fight could be over in any swing. We have no idea how many hit points he has. But Artorious has 1 heal more left, so he might have 4 swings.
Definitely hoping for a double here.
You need a
decent chance for it.
Maybe a triple? Nah, probably not after that breath.
And here it is.
Not enough. Yeah, this guy's got a lot of hit points. I wasn't really counting, but I felt like that was about 16, 17 attacks. So I'm thinking close to 200 hit points.
Well, that is knowledge that they gained, but at the same time, it is a bunch of time they spent fighting the Dragon Lord where they could have been, gaining XP. But Cyberdark also down here fighting the Dragon Lord, so we'll see if he has any kind of a different experience. But if Artorious' fight was any indication, it's going to be a real tough battle here.
Yeah, Thilo came into this fight with less heals than Artorious had, so and I felt like Artorious had reasonably good doubles luck. So it's really going to come down to if he was able to outdo that, but I don't know. I'm not seeing it yet. I have a feeling, unless we've missed something, we might be seeing the same sort of thing happen. He does get an extra attack here at the end, though.
If I were a betting man, I would not bet on... we do see the heal on the Dragon Lord. Oh my.
He did not see enough of it, though, but he knows that it has heal now. He could very well see Artorious not bother, because when you do that much damage and you don't see heal, you might assume that not to worry about it. But Thilo knows, and he didn't have the best thing. I mean, he's certainly going to take another level here. Unfortunately, he doesn't know that the Axe Knight is the best enemy in the game. He just ran away from it. But I would not be surprised at all to see people throw out the Death Necklace the next time through. In fact, Thilo might be thinking about doing that right now. I know he's not super big on the Death Necklace, but that might be enough to bridge the gap.
That heal knowledge, I think, it's a very big knowledge advantage. Knowing that even if it's 25%, like that's a nice bit of information to have.
And we haven't really been paying attention to Cyberdark's role. I don't think he did anything really different from the other runners, so it's going to come down to if he gets to that heal range a little bit earlier, sees a little bit more, he might have the juice to make it. But the heal on DL2 is not a super high rate, if I remember right. Like, I don't think it can be 75%. So it might actually be locked in at 25%. I'm trying to remember. We'll see it after a little bit.
And I'm not sure if he went and picked up fairy water like the other runners did as well, so that could be another thing that might not be in his favor for seeing the end of this fight.
All right, chat's telling me that it was 50% capped on the heals, so that might be the thing. Now, Miplet's picked up level 17. If he goes, he might wind up in the same situation as the others. But again, the Death Necklace might be enough to change this. They have a lot of hit points, and the doubles are probably doing about the same amount of damage, but I don't think they quite are, and I think this fairy water range isn't really enough to boost. But here we go, last attack for Cyberdark. And yeah, not enough.
He too succumbs to the Lord of Dragons. Probably gonna look for another level like the other racers are as well. And yeah, it looks like Miplet is heading in because you get 50 some odd HP, and you gotta try, right?
Yeah, speaking of that, Artorious did just pick up level 18, look like 4 strength, 9 hit points, but no MP, and he's not satisfied with that. He's going to continue grinding.
Yeah, he doesn't have the knowledge that DL2 has heal, which might be at 25%, could be at 50, we don't really know, but that might have changed his decision with the extra 4 strength and thinking about the Death Necklace as a possibility, but he doesn't know that, so looks like he's unsatisfied with that level.
And we'll see if Thilo, I think, is more likely to go because he got into the heal range. So he might be a little bit more tempted. He also didn't have as good of a walk down. Like I said, he lost a little bit of MP. I think he lost the heal more. I can't remember for sure. Maybe it was just a heal and it looked like it was more.
And getting a little bit more HP might make him feel a little bit more comfortable to try the Death Necklace, knowing that there is a heal, and so getting to that heal range quicker could be a big benefit in the fight.
Yeah, so Miplet, he's taking a peek. He's thinking about it. Is he going to herb up? Is he going to heal? Yeah, Thilo is going, though. So, he's going down to Breckenary again, which isn't really that much further away than Cantlin. Maybe it's quicker inside of the town. I don't know. It feels odd. But he knows what he's doing. And yeah, Miplet immediately slept and getting hit with the DL2 breath, or the DL1 breath, I suppose, since it is the Dragon Lord, the first form, and it's the weaker breath. And throwing out that stop spell. We'll see if he decides to go with the Death Necklace or not. Again, that's probably the one thing he can do to change, and he is. All right, let's see how this works for him. As he does that, Thilo is getting ready to dive right now.
And this is the only runner we've seen so far going into the DL2 fight with the Death Necklace equipped, so we'll see if it makes a big difference or not. This could be really exciting for miplet.
Yeah, no need for Fairy Water. He can keep herbing up to stay above that range to ensure at least an opening swing, maybe an opening double. And see if he throws out that stop spell too. If he doesn't, in fights like this, you really need that to land the first time and to get it. But here we go. DL2, number 4, first for miplet. And no stop spell, but he opens up with 28 damage. He is rolling, I believe, 8 to 17. So substantially larger than what we saw from the other players.
Looks like he's up to 37.
So yeah, the big thing here is the heal. Like, if he sees that, what's going to happen? He could throw it out later, but he's going to lose about 2 swings worth of effort. Because I think it was somebody asked in chat about how much the Dragon Lord heals. He heals the same as everyone else, which is, I think, 18 to 25 or something like that. That's about what he's doing in 2 swings.
And I might have missed a hit, but we might be at 70 damage done to the Dragon Lord here. Could be 81, but I might have missed one. And miplet here is probably going to hope that it's 25% heal and that he doesn't see any here.
Yeah, it's quite possible. I've been in a scenario where I didn't see the heal, and it was bad for me because I didn't realize I was just a sneeze away from taking out the Dragon Lord when it happened, and he should have healed. But I think in this case, if he doesn't see the heal, he's going to be perfectly happy. I've not been tracking his damage. I'm not feeling super strong on this, though. It feels like a lot of lower rolls.
He started off okay. I lost count. And Thilo now is at DL1 at level 18. So if miplet isn't successful here, we'll see Thilo very well might be.
Yeah, at this point, if he sees the heal, he's completely borked. He needs to just get really good rolls on these last 2 and take him down. This might be the last one. And it is, and he is sent home. Now, Thilo, again, he's got a little bit better stats. He's got a bit more of an advantage here. We'll see how he does. And Artorious picked up 19 and still not going.
And Thilo was able to land a stop spell as well. So if he sees that heal, it's a nice free turn for him. That's great. So it looks like chat's saying, yeah, about 171 damage for miplet, which is quite a number. So that's too bad that he wasn't able to get there. Big chunky boy, our DL2.
And we'll see if Thilo is able to pull it. It looks like Cyberdark is also going on 18. If Thilo doesn't, it's quite possible Artorious does on the same setup. It might come down to that heal actually proccing. If it does not proc, Thilo might not have enough juice for this. But his AP looks pretty good. I feel like he's got a lot better odds than miplet did just a minute ago.
Yeah, that 4 extra attack power is kind of monumental here.
Yeah, really needs to start seeing those heals. Give just a little bit of taking the pressure off, because right now you're just wondering, like, holy cow, are we gonna see this? Are we close? Do we know?
And a 10 is not what you wanted to see there on the roll. We're really hoping here that we can finish this thing out with the last couple swings.
Yeah, it might be down the 2 swings. Still no heal. If this doesn't do it, that's the only hope left. And oh my gosh, no heal!
And the 10, 9, 12 to finish it out, that's not what you want to see.
Yes, some super trolly stuff here. It looks like Thilo hit 173 after Miplet's 171, so not really any better in the roll department. As Miplet goes to get another level, Artorious is still trying to get his level, and Cyberdark is about to start his second Dragon Lord fight.
Yep, Cyberdark's starting it off, see if he can be successful, where Miplet and Thilo most recently were not, and Artorious going to level 20, saying, let's laser this guy in the face. So we'll see if just putting your nose down and grinding is going to be the winning play, or if one of these other runners can sneak in and grab a victory.
And yeah, he is probably one enemy away from level 20. It'd be difficult to see him not go at this point. I'm not sure what would be holding him back. Like, if he is nothing, maybe he keeps going, but it's super tight. And yeah, we see Cyberdark throw out the stop spell. It does not work. That is not great.
That is not what you want, but if he does end up getting it and is lucky enough to get some heals, still could be right in there for the win. It's just really up to the Dragon Lord.
Now, Artorious did pick up 7 power on level 20. This one looks very solid, so everyone is on the clock right now to possibly get in there before Artorious does. But we'll see if Cyberdark is able to clear this one after all. Did not have a good start, but you never know if he gets some good rolls and manages to hit the Dragon Lord's hit points without needing that heal, or maybe he sees the heal, throws it out, and it still works. Who knows?
Yeah, definitely not out of it here, Cyberdark. And if he's not successful, I'm going to have a hard time seeing Artorious not coming in and being able to take it. I think something weird would have to happen for that to be the case here.
All right, yeah, he keeps going. It's not. I don't know. Am I missing the good rolls? Are the good rolls not here? Do the good rolls exist? There's a 14. That's right in the middle.
And we've still only seen one heal in all of our turns against Dragon Lord 2, so looking pretty likely that it might be 25%.
Yeah, I mean, if you do the math, at 230, you take 25% of 230, that is, what, about 60? So you should see that at 170, and we've seen people hit 170 and not get it. So, nope, not for Cyberdark this time, so he is also going home, which puts Artorious up on the plate. And again, the one thing we will be curious about with him is that he did not see the heal, and he did, quite a bit of damage. He might decide to not use Stop Spell. He has the MP for it, but he might not. So that could be the deciding factor if he does not win.
Yeah, that could be a factor. We'll see here again if he maybe chooses to use the Death Necklace this time, or still choose not to.
I just did the math, and I believe it's 173 exactly that would proc the heal if he has 230 hit points. So we've seen that, just not commonly. And yeah, he's going straight in, does 12 on the first hit, not throwing out the stop spell. So we're at 23, and he gets an opening triple, 35. Great shape to be in. He did not equip the Death Necklace either. So, and immediately he has to double heal more, but he did get an extra attack, so it's kind of a wash. Yeah, and there's 11. That's not good either. I'm not sure where are the good rolls on the swings at, game? Where did they go? I don't know. Chat thinks it's good. There's a 15. I guess I was still putting him on the other damage range. He's doing what? 9 to 18. 15's not bad. 9 is bad.
I'm gonna reload Discord real quick. Just give me a second.
Okie doke. Another 11. Again, it just doesn't feel hot here. 9. I feel like the rolls are going downhill. I'm not counting. I just go to I feel here. While this is happening, Miplet is back in. Thilo is getting ready to go. Cyberdark's getting another level. So we might just see this continual rotation of Dragon Lord 2 fights until somebody breaks through. And again, I don't know where he is. I feel like he is definitely on pace to do better than what the other players have. But he has not thrown out the stop spell. And if we see the heal now, again, that's going to cost him a couple of swings right off the bat.
Could be one of those situations where whoever gets the lucky heal casts could be the one that comes out on top.
In our Artorious situation, he doesn't want to see it because he hasn't cast the stop spell, and it will definitely put him back. But, playing with fire here, and we'll see. He didn't see it the last time. He did a bunch of damage, and he is on his last heal more. And he did it. 11 damage. Did not see the heal. Didn't need to see it. He takes out the Dragon Lord, and he's going to come in first in this 4-way race here in Week 2 of Winter League.
Throw out your GGs for Artorious for getting the victory. Hard-earned level 20. GG to Artorious.
And while he is doing that, Miplet is trying to stop spell DL1. It's not working. I don't know. Is he gonna? I think he's just gonna swing through and hope for the best in the next round. But again, GG for Artorious coming in first here. Everyone died on the Dragon Lord in this one, and I think it was 3 fights for him to get it finally. But 2 serious ones. GG to him, and be well deserved. Maybe we'll hear him in the booth here in just a little bit. Meanwhile, Miplet is again on the Dragon Lord. He's in the same level that Thilo and Cyberdark just were. Thilo looks like he's heading straight to 20. Cyberdark picking up 19. We'll see if he decides to go or if he's going to grind one more.
I seem to be having a problem with my mic, Aaron, so just give me a second, see if I can do something to fix it.
All right, there we saw a 19. That is a big one, big 19. And we'll see if Miplet has the same issue. I don't think he threw out stop spell either. And he is just swinging down on this guy. But it looks like his rolls are not bad so far. Or maybe I just saw a couple of good ones. 14 average, that's fine. Yeah, to what Bort is saying, if I see a stop spell, or if I see a heal late and I got 1 heal more left, I might just throw out the hurt more instead because hoping to bridge that gap, knowing that I don't have a chance to overcome it. But he's got 4 heal mores, now 3 heal mores left. It's probably about 5 swings. I feel like he's done a lot of damage. It really depends if we see the heal or not.
And hopefully I'm not sounding like a demonically possessed demon, so if I am, chat, let me know, and I will stop doing that.
No more than normal. But here we go. This is the last... Oh, there is the heal. Oh, no. Miplet, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do in this situation? Do you just, he throws out the stop spell, but it doesn't work. And now, throw out the hurt more. That's, the only thing you can do. And he's going with the stop spell again. That's the problem. You're never going to see, a double heal on here. And that is just it. So Miplet now gets his second time getting tossed out, and while this is happening, Thilo hit level 20, he's getting ready to go, but Cyberdark is charging in at level 19, aiming for second place.
And it does look like we have Artorious ready to join the room here for some commentary about his run, so...
Welcome, Artorious, and GG on what definitely had to be a high-stress race. How are you feeling?
My heartbeat has definitely not gone down yet, so yeah, it was definitely rough.
So, would you like to know that the Dragon Lord has heal?
Yeah, I actually just saw that just now, so, luckily, I have no idea.
Yeah, it's been a carousel of you racers all kind of in succession, one at a time, going down to fight the Dragon Lord, getting smoked, and then next person comes and kind of just a line of people dying. So congratulations on being the first to make it out of there.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I felt bad with each grind I had at the end, so I just kept expecting to see a dot done at any point.
And I think that was possible when Miplet died on the Dragon Lord right before you did. That made 2 times that everyone took a serious attempt at the Dragon Lord and died. So there was and nobody really made a different decision about to go except for you. You pushed all the way to level 20. What was your thinking? Were you just like, I got to make sure I can't lose another dive here, or what was in your head?
Yeah, that was exactly it. I figured going to a third dive, if that happened, that it would definitely not probably be a win for sure. And when I saw that 7 extra power at 20, with another extra heal more gained throughout the leveling, I figured it was pretty good, but luckily I did not see that heal.
Yeah, and to kind of update on what's going on, Cyberdark is now about halfway into this fight. Thilo is getting ready to go again, and Miplet just died in Charlock and literally walked straight back, doesn't heal, doesn't do anything, straight back into Charlock. He's feeling the pressure. He knows he needs to get this.
That slime is not afraid of anything, and looks like we're getting towards the back end of this Cyberdark fight, so we'll see if he can pull it out and maybe take second place here.
And maybe the important question, did he cast Stop Spell? Because I can't remember who had actually seen heal. Maybe he had.
I do believe that he cast Stop Spell successfully on the Dragon Lord.
Oh, right, because he had actually done it late in the last fight, So Artorious, was there anything particular about the seed that kind of stuck out to you before the ending? Because it was a fun seed before all of this happened. So,
I think my favorite part was the 4 caves all on one screen, and then the 2 swamp caves 3 tiles apart.
That was pretty fun, and congratulations to Cyberdark. Eking it out on the last swing, gonna finish here in second place. Congratulations to him.
Absolutely amazing. He also did not see a heal. It would have only benefited him since he landed the Stop Spell. But I don't know. It's supposed to be, what, 25% min? I feel like it's 2%.
Yeah, or just like you were saying, the math works out that you have to do so much damage to even see it that maybe it's not as unlikely as we thought. We just haven't had a lot of opportunities to see it.
It is Thilo's turn again. He's at level 20. Level 20 is a lot more of a stable scenario. Miplet died again in Charlock, has decided to just grab another level, which seems to be better. Cyberdark did win at level 19, however, and speaking of that, GG, sir, welcome in, and congratulations on what must have been a absolutely stressful, crazy race there at the end.
Yeah, that was my 3rd time fighting DL2. Did anyone else see it cast heal? It had to have heal.
I did not.
At least Thilo has seen heal.
Okay, because it never did cast sleep, but I never got it to cast heal either, yet I blocked the spell 3 times.
Well, I think it was changed in one of the latest versions of version 3 so that the Stop Spell resist is the same in Chaos, whether it has a spell or not.
Right, but I don't think it can block a spell if it doesn't have one. That's at least my understanding.
No, I think that was actually specifically changed just for the Dragon Lord because of that.
Huh, okay, well.
But anyway, congratulations to Thilo, who just finished as well, level 20. He saw a couple of helos. He definitely saw the most. I do have a question prompted by chat. You rescued Waylon, and we were kind of wondering if you had realized that the experience wasn't actually random for levels in this.
Correct, I did not realize that.
That explains it. Yeah, that's kind of what we figured was going on, so it makes a lot of sense.
It must be very fast, because the numbers weren't lining up to what I was used to, and I just, chaos, I assumed it was random.
Yeah, that was one of the baby flags we put on for this week to make it easier. Chaos light and stuff, but it didn't matter. I don't think that changed anything in the long run. And You still end up getting a second place in this race. Was there a point, we were going to talk about this, and I'm sure you're probably tired of hearing about it, but there's a point where you were worried about your build when the hit points were just in the tank for so long?
Not really. I think before I really got worried about it, based on my level, I gained 48 hit points, which put me over 100. So I wasn't too concerned until I looked at my strength and then realized, that's going to need a bit of buffing, and decided to go with the Death Necklace anyway once I got over 129.
Yeah, we had thought with everyone's dives, and sorry, it's kind of just talking about what happened, but I think I'm trying to remember. I think Artorious, you were first, and then it was Thilo and Cyberdark in that order. And then Miplet dove, but Niplet immediately put on the Death Necklace on when he went in, and we thought that might actually be enough because we had no idea how many hit points he had. But out of everyone, I think Miplet was the one who got the really bad luck heal. He probably had enough juice to take him out if he didn't see it, but on his second dive, just didn't quite get there, unfortunately.
I tried to dive a lot earlier too, like at 14 or whatever I went to get the armor, but Druin took me right in front of him.
Yeah, Druin turned out to be quite a baddie in this one.
Yeah, they were the problem. I mean, it seemed like almost every enemy that was in Charlock was ridiculous attack power too. I think they just showed the Wraith Knight with was it 253 attack power or something? That's the whopping 1 experience 2 gold thing.
I never saw its attack power because it had so little HP, I guess.
And something that we were talking about in the commentary booth here was how, at least we think we would feel if we were playing the Seed about the XP availability and the quality of grinds. And I just want to kind of ask you guys how you felt about XP and what your thoughts were about trying to find a place to grind.
Yeah, that was my biggest concern at the end game. Throughout my entire exploration, I don't think I saw anything too great except for the Poltergeist North. And so, as you saw, I sat on that for a while, and then when they started running away, I'm like, shoot, I have to go get something. And then I, after a few zones, luckily saw the Axe Knight and killed it finally, and saw 204. So just stuck there in Zone 0.
Yeah, I was back and forth between those two zones for a while. I started with the Trolls and Axe Knights, eventually went up in the Poltergeist and the Knight and the Slime, I think, and then ended up back down in Zone 0 again.
And welcome into Thilo, and congratulations on finishing 3rd in this quite chaotic seed. How did you feel about your experience?
I mean, I felt good every time I went to the Dragon Lord, and then I didn't. It took me too long to realize how good of a grind zone Hawksness was, and so I spent a lot of time in that desert with the Demon Knights and Wizards and not much else. So that slowed me down a little bit, but of course the thing that slowed me down the most was continually going and taking a fight against the Dragon Lord every single level, and I was like, man, I'm getting close to like 180, I have a good shot here, and I got that 180, and then I saw a heal, and I'm like, wait, well, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, I think that you were the first person to encounter that heal, and what a surprise that was to all of us to see.
And it made me pretty confident that it was a max HP Dragon Lord, but I was thinking, the next level I went through, I was thinking, well, maybe I can get him into heal quickly enough, and if I can heal loop him, then I can get him through that way rather than having to spend however many minutes grinding another level. But I was not able to get him into heal range at all. I think I got him to heal range in my final swing the next time I went through, which I see Cyberdark finished at level 19. So obviously that was doable, but for me, I barely got him into heal range, and he didn't heal.
I did not see a heal. I had stopped spell on him 3 times I fought him. I never saw a heal.
We got a Miplet here down to his last heal more, going at level 19 on DL2, so let's see if he can finish this out here. with a couple more swings.
Wait, if you never saw a heal, how on earth did you do that much damage to the Dragon Lord on level 19?
I had the Death Necklace on, so I was at 139, and I just got lucky rolls. My first time in, I got really good rolls from him, really good attack rolls. So I was doing a lot of damage, but it was all 6s and 7s. The second time in, I just kept getting Fire Breath and was doing crap damage. The third time, I managed to get a lot of 16s and 17s and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I went at level 17, I think. Armed with Fairy Waters, and went without using without doing any or using the Death Necklace, and got him down. Like I said, got him down to about 180. And then he threw a heal out on me, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's that. So we're gonna grind. And the next level got me nothing. Then at level 19, I went and tried again using the Death Necklace, like you said, and like I said, I was only able to get about 180 done in at that for that one either. And then went to level 20, and at that point, was getting really good rolls, and managed to get 2 or 3 heals on that final one. So.
And here we have confirmation of the DL2 stats, and welcome in Miplet. GG, bummer about the fight there. Turns out DL2 had 228 HP, and as you may have figured out, 25% heal.
Wow. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
GG's.
I'm not a very talkative guy, but that was very fun.
And so we asked some of the other runners, but how are you feeling about, I guess, the Dragon Lord in particular, and then in addition to that, kind of the XP situation and looking for a grind and trying to level up in that situation?
I don't know, was there anybody have a better grind than me? I was grinding the Demon Knights and whatever else was there by the castle.
I went from there, and then I ultimately took a trip from that to Hawksness, which had the same wizards, but it also had the Poltergeist, which gave 128, and the Drolls, which gave over 100, that were all one-shottable.
Yeah, and then it sounded like Cyberdark and I were north of Tantagel with Poltergeist and Knights, and then back to Zone 0 with Axe Knights and Drolls.
Okay, well, I gotta get going because it's late.
GG Miplet.
Yep, GG.
GG's, guys.
GG.
GG Miplet, thanks so much for being here, and have a great night.
Out of curiosity, did everybody else burn their key to start off with as well to get the Fairy Waters?
Oh yeah, I burnt my key right away.
I kept mine.
Miplet kept his too, which I think the first enemy he killed was he found the noodle right away, I think through the fairy water, and then had enough gold to buy more. So I don't know. Everyone else seemed to not be able to find that. I think Thilo, you in particular, had the hardest time actually getting off of the ground.
Yeah, it wasn't just that. It was everything I ran into could tank 3 fairy waters. So it wasn't just, like the slime and the ghost were the first 2 things I ran into, and then something that did a whole lot of damage to me after that, before I finally found that knight.
I got like a skeleton, a droll, and an axe knight. The first 3 enemies, I think.
Yeah, it must have been the droll that got me the third time, before I finally found something good. But I figure with enough fairy water, I figured even if I didn't get the noodle, there was something I'd be able to take down with a couple fairy waters. So I was,
Yeah, things were a little ways away too. There was a lot of twists and turns in the map. Swamp Cave was awesome. In one side, out the other, right there.
Yes, it was. I honestly, looking back, I really kind of enjoyed this seed because there were a lot of interesting decisions to make, and there wasn't a clear and obvious answer for anything. Like we talked about grinds, and I'm not sure what's the best thing still. We were going at different levels, trying to figure out like I enjoyed this one.
it definitely seemed to stay true to the chaos experience, even if it was chaos light and it was supposed to be a little bit easier. But we can't do much about Dragon Lord. That's out of our control.
Well, I would want nothing less from Chaos, especially if I'm racing Cyberdark. We gotta have full
Right.
Chaos experience.
I'm only pissed that DL1 wasn't stronger. I mean, he had sleep, but he wasn't stronger.
I was so disappointed in that deal, especially the first time. I went to Sherlock early on to find the armor, and I decided to do a scouting mission. And the first time, I hit the Dragon Lord probably 6 times before he died, and he never once used a spell, or use sleep, or the DL1 breath. So I thought, oh, this is going to be a pushover, and then all of a sudden he started sleeping me. I'm like, wait, what?
Oh, see, I got there, got my armor, went around, and then died to a droll right in front of the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, it was actually a unique thing about this race too, with both of you running strength agility builds. You were defense breaking the Dragon Lord, but the other two were not, which had maybe a little bit of a different experience. Might have actually cost Miplet there at the end. I don't know how close he was, but he got ambushed and didn't go into the fight with full hit points anyway, so he lost the heal more right off the bat. But that might have mattered very specifically in that fight.
Yeah, Cyberdark and Thilo 1 defense point away from 100. Would have loved to see it, but 99 still pretty great.
Chaos is always fun because at 99 defense, you are defense breaking like 2/3 of the monsters, and the other 1/3 are doing 50 to you still. It's always a fun little combo.
I wish I had seen the attack power of the Demon Knight, but everyone I came across I killed. I think you said the same in chat.
The Wraith Knight.
Sir. Yeah.
Yeah, they showed it and it said 253.
But it had so little HP. Like every time I attacked it, it just died instantly, and it wasn't worth attacking, but it wasn't worth running from either, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I threw on repel. And went to Sherlock. I was like, okay, well, anything I run into, I'm gonna have to kill. And I saw the Demon Knight, and I'm like, okay, I know you were only worth 1 experience and 2 gold, but the fact that you showed up after a while now, I've got repel with all this defense, means I should probably keep hitting you. And I'm glad I kept doing that, because apparently failing to do that would have been really, really bad. They did did you say he did 100 even on Miplet? I think I saw that in chat.
Oh wow.
So I've got a question here about the future as far as, I mean, you've all been thinking about week 2, I know, but thinking ahead to week 3, how do you all feel about the random chest location, stair shuffle, Three's Company combination?
Yay, stair shuffle, the one thing I don't practice. What am I talking about? I don't practice any of this.
I'm a sucker for stair shuffle. I enjoy the absolutely absurd nature of it, where you have to try to track everything going on, and the way it totally changes the dungeon diving meta and stuff. Mixing that with Three's Company is also interesting because it really pushes towards the exploration, and so and you never know if you're going to have a Nightmare Sherlock or a fast one, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, the idea of grabbing Gwilyn and just going for it and see if you could get through. It does sound like fun. It's a lot like chaos.
Yeah, and I'll echo that. It's going to be a lot of fun, even though I have no idea where any of these stairs lead out of. So, but other than that, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm expecting to die with the princess about 3 steps away from the Dragon Lord.
So I've had that experience before. So and we are looking at the schedule now up on the screen. I believe our race tomorrow at 11 o'clock will be on RPG Limit Break. So keep an eye out for that. We'll announce it in the Discord. The second race tonight was not is going to be vodcast later. I don't think we have a schedule for that yet. It is ongoing. So as we're thinking about wrapping up tonight, are there any last thoughts about week 2 before we bury it, at least for you guys?
Can I just ask, I'm looking at the schedule, and it's showing Week 2, Group 6 at 11 p.m. and 12:45 a.m., and I was just curious which one of those is accurate.
The 11. It does something funky when you schedule late. Like it assumes a certain length of time. So it always, whenever it wraps across midnight, it shows it twice.
Okay.
So I think there it's 11 to 12:45, so it should be like an hour and 45-minute race kind of thing. Is what the schedule's predicting.
Also, correction, it will be a race tomorrow is scheduled on DW Randomizer. I forgot. It's the Wednesday race that's on RPG Limit Break. So there you go.
Yeah, for me, it's this seed was all about what chaos is, so it brought me joy, and I hope it entertained everybody. And thanks, guys, for putting on the show.
Yep, thank you all so much.
Yep, completely echoing what those two said. Thank you, admins, restream team, everything. Appreciate it.
Hey, this is a lot of fun. Thank you all for scheduling your race and being the ones to kick us off in this lightly chaotic week. It was really, really fun to watch.
Absolutely. And so we're going to go ahead and wrap up. We're going to raid everyone over to Speed Gaming 3. We'll be watching a race already in progress between Kigless and Jacob, a couple of wonderful Dragon Warrior randomizer racers who still have their races to come up this week. But all I'm going to say is if you like chaos, we still got one more week of chaos here in the regular season in week 5. So keep an eye out for that. And then on behalf of my co-commentator, Hoodie Two Shoes, on behalf of our trackers, Destiny of the Dragon Warrior, Shahali, and our restreamer, Flower Power, I'm Aaron to you too. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.